last but not least, a very special one for you. Now that's a ruby chocolate cheesecake.
It's the ruby chocolate. Oh, the new chocolate.
I have heard all about ruby chocolate. I'm desperate to try this ruby chocolate, and the girls are actually going to get to cook with it today. Very jealous.
This is the first new type of chocolate to come for 82 years. It has a fruity, berry-like flavour, but there are no berries in it, there's no colouring in it. The colour and the flavour are all down to the beans themselves. And today is a very special day because although ruby chocolate's had lots of coverage in the press, only a handful of the top chocolatiers have actually got to cook with it. You are going to join that very small but very illustrious group.
That's so cool. That's absolutely incredible. I've only just started hearing about this ruby chocolate, so to be able to actually try this today and cook with it is just amazing.
A good cheesecake is all about proportion. Every mouthful of cheesecake when I tasted Nigella's was balanced off with that really fine ginger crumb at the end. I know that the amount of crumb that I put into the dish will be really important. 1, 2, 3. The recipe says 3 to 4 tablespoons. I follow it exactly, and I make sure I press it down really well so that it's a really thin biscuit base, just like a Nigella's.
Looks really good, Jenny.
Thank you. There's a 33% chance I'm going home today, but I never ever give up. The competition means the world to me. I'm just gonna give it everything I've got.
Cooks, within the next 7 minutes, your cheesecake should be finished in the fridge. Come on, guys, let's go. Come on, Jen, come on. Again, come on.
I guess she hasn't got a mold out for the cheesecake.
Chloe and Jenny are moldering. They've already got their cheesecake base done. Adele hasn't even started. She's still chopping up her ruby chocolate. And I'm a little bit worried for her.
Chop like no tomorrow.
At home, I'll follow a recipe and I do tend to deviate a little bit, but given what's on the line today, it's gonna be really important to follow these recipes to a T.
Come on, Adele, read and do, yeah? Come on.
Just rough chop, Adele.
I want to move a little bit quicker, but I've got to get this ruby chocolate chopped really finely.
Adele, I need you to hustle, yeah?
Huh?
I need you to hustle.
Yep.
I've found the base of the ruby chocolate cheesecake. The next thing I need to move on to is my cheesecake filling. I'm so fortunate to be one of few people to work with an ingredient that's new and it's rare.
Well done, Chloe.
I'm trying my best because I really want to do the ruby chocolate cheesecake justice.
Looks fantastic, Chloe.
Yes, it looks wonderful.
Work quickly. I start to fold my chocolate with the cream mixture. This pie is crucial because you need to incorporate all the chocolate with the cream mixture, but you don't want to overwork it because you'll change the texture of the cream cheese. Fold it in gently, gently, Jenny, gently. Nigella's was really nice and smooth, so I've got to be careful.
How is that? That's good?
That's good. We're working with the rarest chocolate in the world. In every feast, there's always a centerpiece. And for me, I feel like the cheesecake is that. So I want to get it spot on for Nigella.
Good job, Jenny. That looks so nice.
Listen up, Adele, Chloe, Jenny. Time is not your friend. Hurry up, 1 hour to go. Come on, come on.
Hi, Adele.
Hi.
16 minutes have gone. What have you done?
So I've melted my chocolate. I'm working on the crumb now. I'll
You're
get on
behind.
that. Yeah. I'm so frantic right now. I can't even compute where that first 15 minutes has gone.
By now, you should have also had done the cream pulsing for the cream cheese.
I haven't even finished my cheesecake mixture.
Steady hand, Adele. Steady hand.
Breathe, Adele. Breathe.
I don't know.
And I still have the milk chocolate brownies, the dark chocolate mousse, and the white chocolate cookie dough to do.
Stay composed, Adele, stay composed.
I don't know if I'm going to get it done.
I tell you what, the crumb feels nice on the cheesecake.
Looks nice and thin too.
Yeah.
We're doing little baby quenelles.
Nothing wrong with a gooey brownie, let's be honest.
No, everything right about a gooey brownie.
All right, Margella, what do you think?
Well, I have to say, I thought the cheesecake was very good. I thought the texture was good. I thought the base and sides were really good, smooth, thin. I'd be delighted if I'd made that.
The cheesecake is absolutely exemplary.
Yeah.
The brownie's got a lovely, nice, kind of crunchy, crisp crust. It's fudgy without being undercooked.
And I think the chocolate mousse has got a delicious texture. It's really light, really quite smooth. And I think the cookie dough, it's a nice recipe. It's supposed to be a little gooey.
Gooey's good.
And gooey's good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We're mad for cookie dough in my house. Way better than the bloody cookie, I think.
A good start. Shall we get the next dishes in?
Let's do that.
Today's invention test has got a huge advantage, so I really need to push myself and think out of the box. I'm going to put a twist on a home cooking classic. I'm going to make a tofu cheesecake. The tofu actually goes into the cheesecake as part of the filling. I mix the tofu in with my cream cheese and then I add my dark chocolate. I'm hoping the tofu is going to add a real silky, smooth texture that you don't get from a normal cheesecake. If tofu doesn't make this cheesecake better than the original, then there's no point doing it at all.
Zoe, your tofu dreams have come true.
Yeah, I just had
I really want to know what you're doing because you immediately knew.
Yeah, I'm doing a dark chocolate and silken tofu cheesecake.
That is inventive.
You've made this before?
Never.
Have you made a tofu cheesecake before?
Never.
Well.
The judges are sounding sceptical about using the tofu.
And you got an ice cream or anything else to go with that?
No, I'm not quite sure. Now I'm really worried that the cheesecake is not going to be enough on its own.
Good luck.
I've already gone out on a limb using tofu, but now I need to come up with something that's going to complement it. If I want to be in the top 3, I need to come up with something fast. I'm making a chili cherry jelly. I'm going to set the jelly on top of my cheesecake. Yeah, it is unusual. To make the chili cherry jelly, I put the cherries on in a saucepan with some water and some sugar, and then I add my chilies. I need to be really careful with how much chili I put into the jelly. Too much, and it'll take away from the whole dessert. Not enough, and it's going to be too sweet. Once my jelly's cooled, I put it on top of my cheesecake and put it in the blast chiller to set. I just hope it sets in time. I've got tofu in my cheesecake and chili in the topping. I'm really hoping this modern twist really appeals to Maggie. Check on my cheesecake, and I'm praying that it's set. It's set. It looks perfect. Yeah, I'm happy with the cheesecake. I think it's super inventive. I'm really hoping that that tofu gives the cheesecake that silky texture it needs. This tofu cheesecake is the biggest risk I've taken in the MasterChef kitchen. I'm just hoping Maggie really likes it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I've made a dark chocolate and silken tofu cheesecake with a cherry chili jelly and black sesame praline.
Cheesecake, Maggie beer. Bit of a worry. Maggie beer, we know, she likes some things quite traditional, and here you are putting up a very different approach to cheesecake. So what's the ratio of tofu to cream cheese?
It's 200 grams of tofu and 150 cream cheese.
It's good, isn't it? We'll remember that, won't we?
Yes.
Straight away. It looks sophisticated too, doesn't it?
Looks amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Go on.
Go on. Okay. Can I tell you that I think a lot of people might, after eating this, decide that the traditional cheesecake might not be for them. because the texture of the silken tofu, it is a silky cheesecake. The cherry and the chili, it needs that to have that juxtaposition, otherwise it's too sweet for me. But I think it's a really, really lovely dish.
So you have to know that I'm using every bit of self-control that I have. And we're in, illustrious company here with Maggie, not to just keep going in there with a spoon and just demolishing it, because it's absolutely beautiful. We do need to stop talking, though, because it's calling me. It's going.
Thanks, Zoe.
To have Maggie there telling me that that was one of the silkiest cheesecakes she's ever had. It's amazing. I can't describe the feeling. Thank you.
What I'm going to make for you is a really classic baked cheesecake. This cheesecake recipe that I've discovered in the last year has revolutionised my cheesecake making, because through a couple of very simple tips, it goes from being claggy to being super creamy and unbelievably stick your finger in delicious. The two real tricks are all about the transference of heat. So we're going to slow down the cooking process by putting the cheesecake tin in effectively a bain-marie, putting water around it. And the other thing is when we come to cool the cheesecake, we're going to do that very slowly as well. And there's a really simple way of doing it. So first up, 23-centimetre spring form tin lined around the sides and on the bottom. Now, this is one of those really simple things you need to do. At the point when you line your tin, check you've got a baking tray that's the right size for this to fit in snugly. What we're going to do is take this, and we're going to make a simple biscuit base. Now, we talk about stepping things up. This is your classic granita digestive biscuit base, yeah? 250 grams of biscuits. Why 250 grams of biscuit?
Because that's what's in a packet.
That's what's in a packet. What is the most annoying thing about a recipe? That little bit that gets left over. And these are things you should be thinking about. That's what makes a recipe usable. So 250 grams of biscuits, 60 grams of sugar, and then we'll blitz those two together. And then 75 grams of butter that I've left out in the sun to melt. It is unsalted butter, because obviously there's a fair bit of salt in those biscuits. You can smell that lovely, toasty, buttery combo there. The real secret here with this crumb is just making sure you press it down into all corners of the tin and you actually give a firm base for the filling to sit on. 1, 2, 3 bits of foil, put the cake in the middle, and scrunch everything up around it. Why have I done this, Brett?
Because it's going in the bain-marie.
Yeah, and so what's the foil going to do?
Watertight.
Got to make it watertight, and it's going to also insulate a bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this into the oven, 175 for 10 minutes. The filling is super simple. 750 cream cheese. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of make it smooth. We're going to beat it. Other flavors you can put in there. Chocolate ripple, you might want to use some cardamom or some chai spices or something else to just step up the cake. So in go 230 grams of sugar. We're going to work that, we're going to churn that together until we lose the granular feel of the sugar. And now we're going to add 4 eggs, one at a time, yeah? So 1 egg, work it until it's fully incorporated, then the next egg, then the next egg, then the next egg. Okay, 10 minutes, out it comes. It's just brown and set. Really important now to let this cool down. I'm now adding 2½ tablespoons of lemon juice, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a good pinch of salt. Salt, I always think sugar is like a horse, salt is like the bridle. It's the thing that keeps the sweetness in check. So I'm turn the speed down, and then to this we're going to add 300 mils of cream. We're really just combining that now. Bain-marie tin, cooled base. Take the cheesecake and pop this in the oven, like so. And now, about an inch or 2.5 centimetres of boiling water just around the edge. "65 minutes, 175-degree oven. And then the secret is turning the oven off and leaving it for an hour. Let the cheesecake cool. So there's our cheesecake. I'm going to ask Heather to plate this cheesecake. Come around here, Heather. Join me. So Heather, you've got a palette knife, you've got a plate, you've got a beautiful tender cheesecake, little half moon of colour on the top. I think you're between. That's good. You're between the cake and the paper. So I can come in here and just lift the... There. OK, away you go. Away you go. All right, and there. Yay! Well, Heather, you've done such a beautiful job. I think you should pick 3 people to try this cheesecake with you. Who do you want?
So Zoe, Mimi and Chloe.
Now, you're going to cut this. If it was on a plinth, I would recommend unwaxed dental floss to cut it, because you can actually use it to cut down, almost like a cheese slice, and cut it neatly. That is a beautiful slice. Well, that's my take on a cheesecake. So, what do you think of it?
It's so yum. It's really light in your mouth and it doesn't stick to the root of your mouth either. It just kind of melts and it's really creamy and delicious.
Heather's done a good job, huh? Well, big hand for Heather. Nice work. I'd take those back.
It's all about dessert now, and it's crunch time. And I'm concerned that I haven't got this cheesecake into the chiller to set.
How's it going? Good. Whack this in the blast chiller. Yep. Can you open the blast chiller? Clear the pass as well.
So the cheesecake and also the sorbet are in the blast chiller now, setting away.
This is perfect. I wouldn't go any smaller than that. So at this point, the crumble's done. Then I noticed that on the left side of the bench, all the elements for the honey jelly are sitting there. It means I've forgotten about it.
Oh my God. I noticed Tash start on the jelly and it's pretty late in the challenge, so hopefully it sets in time.
I get that into a pan and straight into the blast chiller.
15 minutes for desserts, guys.
A little bit of a panic because I entrusted that to Tash. Oh, spoons! As far as I was concerned, it was being done and it was in. You know, there's no time. It's not going to set.
Perfect. Yes, it's definitely a really complicated plate, but the guys are well under control. Those sorbets are going to melt as soon as they get on the plate.
So we're just putting it on at the last minute.
Sarah, do you want the jelly out now?
We've left the jelly as long as we possibly can.
Just give it to me here. It's not quite set yet. It's not going to cut, but it's going to spoon.
It's not set completely. It's got a little bit of a wobble, but it's not as crisply set as Teague's was.
I need 2 people doing this.
1 minute, guys. Come on, the last little push.
So, sorbet. Where's the sorbet? Let's move, last 30 seconds.
Coming together, but oh my gosh, we just need to get this sorbet on the plate.
Oh my God, which one's melting? We need sorbet.
I need to go over there.
Let's move.
Here, give me some of that, sorry. This one here, yes?
10 seconds.
Go, just put 1 on it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Give me a spoon.
4, 3, 2, 1. Service is over. Well done.
Finish it off, get your desserts out.
Wait, celebrate in a second, guys. We've
come
got
on, take
customers
them out.
to serve. Customers.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
How's your meal been so far?
Fantastic. Cheers.
Beautiful.
So we have the Sauternes panna cotta, done with a lemon verbena syrup.
It's really disappointing that the jelly hasn't set and the sorbet's starting to melt now. But there were so many elements in that dish. We hope that we've done enough.
Right, Sarah, do you want to have a look at Teague's dessert?
Yeah.
Do you remember how gorgeous it was?
I do.
Go on, then.
Oh,
What do you reckon, Sarah?
it's as beautiful as I remember.
Yeah.
All the components are there. The fromage frais looks superb.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Enjoy.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
yum.
good. Wow.
It's really good.
It's so good, isn't it?
That is so good.
How good is that cheesecake?
That cheesecake, absolutely love it. I think they've done a great job.
I think the obvious letdown is the jelly. It hasn't set, you know, it's more like a little, you know, dribbly honey sauce. Certainly the final few seconds of the plate up with the sorbet. But I'm going to be brave and I'm going to say this, so don't clobber me. But I reckon the crumb is better than yours. Ah, because it's darker.
Certainly the crumble's got an edge. Are you proud, team? Very proud.